Howdy. Hey, it's Cloudy. We're back to the channel. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't check out the last video, make sure you check out my past videos, man. Don't miss out, man. Don't know that. Today, we got a video from the Cosmic Wonder. Marvel is planning a secret third Avengers movie.
Marvel Studios has had a release date set for a mystery movie for some time now. Now, Marvel and Disney typically do this. They release a schedule that basically lists everything that they've announced, and in slots that they have planned, they simply put untitled Marvel film. And right now, Marvel has one of those secret untitled films set for July 2027, coming out before Avengers Secret Wars. And what's interesting is that some insiders slash veterans from the industry.
Okay, if they saying these movies are coming out in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, then yes, these are not secret. I don't care nobody. This is not secret if this is coming out in between Secret Wars and Doomsday, bro. Because I expected them to drop, shit like Doctor Strange 3, maybe a Hulk movie, the War of Hope, whatever you call it. The Thor 5 movie, maybe. The Deadpool and Wolverine, the other movie, a newer one. I would think those would probably be the titles for the stuff that's dropping in between Doomsday and Secret Wars. But they saying they got another one. And it's a Avengers level type movie? What do y'all think that could be, bro? Because now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it's just going to be a part 2 to Avengers Doomsday or something. Or maybe it's going to be part 1 to Avengers Secret Wars.
Seem to think that that mystery movie could be another Avengers film. And after going through this full report, I'm starting to think this could be what Marvel Studios might try to do. And after going through their filming schedule and registrations of production companies, and no insiders revealing any other movie set for that slate, I'm actually thinking the signs do point towards them making another Avengers film. And I'm sure many of you as well, want them to do this. And not just because I want another Avengers movie, which I do, but because I actually think it would be the best decision Marvel could make. If you've been catching our podcast or our...
Okay, now that I think about it, you know how I was saying these movies need to be at least 3+ hours long, bro? What if they really not trying to make movies that long because they don't want people to give up, you know? So what if that's what they doing? They making a part 2 to one of these movies, or a part 1 to Secret Wars. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
You've probably heard me state that I do believe that Marvel Studios should push back Avengers Doomsday by a year. That way, with that extra year, we could have 2 other movies that kind of introduce Doom a little bit more and give us a bigger build up to Avengers Doomsday. But simply adding another Avengers film, that would also do the trick. And I also think that at this...
I was saying the same thing, bro. I was like, bro, how they gonna build up Doom though? Like, if they really bring it Doom to Doomsday first, bro, they would have to show a lot of his story. Like, you know, in that movie. That's why I was saying these movies got to be at least 3+ hours long. That's why I was saying that, bro. Because if they really are adding all these characters and stuff like that, some of them need a backstory, bro. And it needs to be a thorough backstory, you know? But if they do make a movie that shows more of Dr. Doom, bro, y'all think it'll be like... Y'all think they should make a pure Dr. Doom movie about him growing up? And then we get to see how Mephisto play a part? Bro, that would be so fire. Bro, we should have a Dr. Doom movie. And I don't even know what you would call it either, bro. But it should be a pure Dr. Doom movie. Us seeing him grow up as a kid, all the way up to the Fantastic Four cutscene to where he see Baby Franklin. I believe that's real because I've been seeing it all over Instagram. If it's not real, y'all let me know, bro. Because, you know, AI is kind of strong. You know?
Point in time, Marvel Studios is willing to do whatever they need to do to not only bring the Marvel hype back, but to also score insanely big at the box office, because they haven't really done that lately. They've had a series of underperformances at the box office, and then they've had some pretty good performances. Then, of course, some outliers like Deadpool and Wolverine and the Guardians of the Galaxy. So I do think Marvel would actually include another Avengers film. And as we go through this report, it seems like that might be their plan, because that was kind of their plan all along. At least originally. This report is coming from Charles Murphy at Murphy's Multiverse, and it's titled Connecting Imaginary Dots. A second Avengers film will hit theaters in 2027. So he seems pretty confident. Now, he starts off this article by stating that originally Marvel Studios did intend on releasing 2 Avengers films within the same year, and not just releasing them within the same year, but having them only 6 months apart. Now, at the time, and
the King... I ain't gonna lie, I might be reaching for gold. But what if the third Avengers movie actually ends up being the Kang Dynasty. Because you can't forget, bro, they were working on Kang, bro. They were working on his character. It may not be Jonathan Majors no more, if I'm being honest, bro. He might not even come back. But that doesn't mean his character is completely dead, bro. I think it's a possibility that they could bring the Kang Dynasty back. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Even if these characters did die off, bro, you can just bring them back to life, bro. This is superhero stuff, bro. A lot of stuff can go on, bro. Y'all can make something up. Bro, if it's not the Kang Dynasty, bro, it should be a Doctor Doom movie. A pure Doctor Doom movie, bro.
2022, this was originally for the Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars. And obviously, since then, a lot has changed, but the premise might still stand. What if Marvel Studios still plans on releasing 2 Avengers films in the same year? Because according to a new trade report, Marvel still plans on keeping that July 2027 release date, in which, yeah, they kind of have to. If they didn't, they would only have one movie releasing in 2027 in December, Avengers Secret Wars. So what could this mysterious movie be? Well, this report does acknowledge that there is a slight chance.
Nah, I was gonna say Gambit because I was thinking about some X-Men, but that would be a Mutant Saga, right? Who y'all think will be getting a solo movie first? Like other than Spider-Man, because we know Spider-Man, But I'm saying after Spider-Man, what hero or villain y'all think is gonna get a single solo movie by them? A movie all about them.
Could be Blade. It would be a presumably low budget movie.
I'm watching it. I don't believe it could be Blade, bro, because I've been seeing too many directors and them talking about, bro, we're not doing this no more. The director's script just sucked.
A big box office success for the studio, but based on everything we've heard about Blade, it's probably not it. Enter what Charles Murphy says is an all-new, all-different Avengers film, stating there is another option, Marvel Studios making good on its insane plan to roll out 2 Avengers films in a calendar year. After rolling out an Avengers film every 3 years before dropping Infinity War and Endgame 1 year apart, the studio has used the...
What about Shang-Chi? Bro, Shang-Chi could be a Shang-Chi 2 could come out too. Damn.
First 5 years of the multiverse saga to spin a whole lot of disparate tales and introduce a whole lot of new characters, only to never follow up on very many of them. That's left a bad taste in the collective maw of fandom, as heroes such as Shang-Chi, Moon Knight, and She-Hulk have been, to date, one and done. And now as the multiverse saga finds itself accelerating to its end, it becomes increasingly difficult to imagine incorporating them all into the cast alongside the stars announced as part of the cast of Avengers Doomsday. However, releasing a 3rd Avengers film in theaters in July 2027 between Doomsday and Secret Wars might provide the narrative runway to make it possible. And he does.
Now they got a point, bro. I was telling y'all, bro, having this many stars on set, bro, is very hard to manage, bro. Because everybody gonna feel like they deserve more lines, probably, or deserve more, or deserve better fighting scenes than the other, like depending on what character they are. So I could see them having a little bit of difficulty dealing with this many stars on set all the time, around the clock. Could probably be a little bit annoying to deal with, you know what I mean? You gotta think about it, bro. Kevin Feige is pretty much grandpa, you know what I'm saying, with all his grandkids. That's pretty much what the Marvel actors are, bro. Kevin Feige is the head, so bro Gramps, you know what I'm saying? I don't know who the pops in them. I guess the pops in them will be the Russo brothers. That would be the pops and the uncle, you know what I'm saying? And the rest, those are the grandkids, the kids, nephews, you know what I'm saying? That's the type of role they playing in right now, bro. And let's be honest, bro, as a parent, you don't want to be around your kids all the time.
A really good point that Marvel Studios hasn't given any indication that this movie will be a property of which the public is not aware. And as of now, there hasn't been any hiring of new writers or directors that hasn't been made public, that is, and there have been no new production companies that aren't already believed to be accounted for. Basically stating that if Marvel Studios did plan on doing a movie, they haven't registered anything for this movie. And no insiders have really heard anything about another movie that hasn't already kind of been put out there. So it's not going to be something that just comes out of left field that Marvel has somehow managed to keep secret. And the reason for that could be because they're just going to continuously shoot 3 Avengers films back to back to back. But the next part of the article is why I really think that this is something that Disney and Marvel would do. The article continues and states, verily, Disney's new approach has shorted Marvel, but a secret third Avengers film would ensure that the studio would own the box office for 12 months.
I've been hearing Disney been trying to get back on track, try to get the young men and all of them involved again, because, you know, they've been putting in stuff that people don't really want to talk about and stuff like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You feel me? So how is this new approach? What do they mean is shorted in Marvel? What does he mean by that? Like, how is this causing any type of problems? Are they saying, like, now that, you know, they trying to go back to their old ways, some characters might not actually be in here no more because they were actually put in here just to make certain people happy? Like, are they trying to say that? Like, what they mean? What they mean?
Whether it's Avengers film, Disney's new approach has shorted Marvel, but a secret third Avengers film would ensure that the studio would own the box office for 12 months. Whether it's Avengers Time Runs Out, Avengers Battleworld, Avengers Everything Dies, or Avengers Illuminati, and he states that an Illuminati project was 100% in development at Marvel Studios at one point in time, which I did hear about as well, but a bridge spanning Doomsday and Secret Wars is a fascinating and cash-rich opportunity for Marvel. And
bro, they can take over box office for 12 months. If I hear, bro, I'm telling you, if I was them, I'm hearing like I can make money for 12 months. I'm just being honest, bro. We broke down here, bro. You know what I'm saying? So my mindset's a little bit different. But look, if I know I could own the box office for 12 months, or at least I have a high chance of being at the top, you know, top 3, top 5 box office numbers for almost the entire year, bro, I would take that chance on making this movie. Not even lying, bro. Especially knowing that Marvel do need this comeback to happen, you know, because with all the societal things that's been going on, a lot of things changed with Disney, which means a lot of things changed with stuff like Star Wars and Marvel and all the other conglomerates that's a part of the group, you know what I'm saying? But now it seems like, you know, Disney kind of wants to backtrack on some of that stuff, which makes it to where a lot of these scripts might end up being changed because they won't have to say certain stuff no more. They can say it this way and it won't really be super offensive because they know the audience that really like their stuff ain't gonna be, you know. A lot of things is changing, bro. So y'all need this. Y'all really do need this, bro. If y'all not giving us another Avengers movie, y'all got to give us another solo movie, like a Ghost Rider movie, a Hulk movie, like the War Hulk, or the Ghost Rider movie. The Blade movie will honestly be beautiful, but I just don't trust it because I haven't heard anybody say that they got a solidified script writer and the script is fire. Every single time we talk about Blade, it's about them postponing it, bro. And it's starting to piss me off.
Or he states that logistically, it is legitimately possible that work has been being done on these films, even under different names, for at least 3 years. Ideas can be cut and pasted and altered under the purview of the new creative team. Typically,
see, bro, I just said that, bro. Things are going to start changing because a lot of stuff is starting to turn back. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be able to do stuff that they couldn't before, and a lot of things could change in these scripts, bro. They probably changing the Doomsday script as I speak. There's probably a bunch of jokes in there that they just threw in there knowing that they, you know, Disney is trying to get the real audience back. You know what I'm saying? The people that ain't too offended about certain things and stuff. Yeah. What's up, Mom?
On a Marvel Studios film lasts 3 to 4 months. Doomsday is already on its 5th month. Secret Wars was originally set to film back to back before a year's worth of space was added. But who is to say that between now and September 2026, cameras aren't continually rolling? Which was exactly my thought. What if they just kept rolling? Why have a year off? Why not go back to back to back? Well, perhaps that's what they're planning on doing.
They might
and what's
as well,
interesting
right?
is that we have been hearing for some time that Secret Wars might be a 2-part movie, which I have always advocated for. With a story like Secret Wars, and especially in the comics with the time runs out story happening before it, that needs a lot of time, especially if you consider just how many characters are going to be in this film. They've already announced a ton, with a lot more expected to be announced as well. With a cast this big, we assume that there's going to be a lot of stories going on. Well, Marvel should take their time with this. And I've always stated that any
people, they be watching my videos, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like I was saying in all my other videos, bro, it's way too many characters in this movie for it not to be a lengthy movie, bro. Everybody got to get a little bit of shine, bro. Especially if they saying a lot of characters play a key role in the movie, like in different, like, bro, it's just too much, bro. Y'all gotta take y'all time with this, and that's probably why they got a third Avenger movie coming out, and that might just be a part 2 to Avenger Doomsday, bro.
That happens between Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars needs to be connected to the overall story. The connectivity of the MCU has been what fans have loved, but unfortunately we haven't really gotten much of that in the multiverse saga, and now our big bad that we were building up to has completely changed, and a lot of people are really worried about the buildup. Well, having Avengers Doomsday simply be a film that's really centered on Doom, giving us his origin, giving us what he's learned about the multiverse, etc., making it all about him, is
these cover arts are actually pretty fire, bro. And I'm pretty sure it's like fan made, but these are actually pretty good, bro. They might actually end up using y'all cover art, real talk.
Basically the build-up that we need, and that would build up to the next Avengers film and then Avengers Secret Wars. And at the same time, you don't really want a movie to come out in between Doomsday and Secret Wars that's going to kill the hype that you've already built. Marvel knows that they need maximum hype for their next 4 movies. Those 4 movies being Spider-Man Brand New Day, Avengers Doomsday, this Secret movie, and Avengers Secret Wars. Well, the best way to build maximum hype is to have that secret film be an Avengers film, and on top of that, a secret Avengers film. And just an hour before I recorded this video, me and Chris went live and we were talking about how Marvel will probably do anything and everything that they can do to make sure everything moving forward is maximum hype, because they know people are talking about superhero fatigue. They know people are talking about Captain America Brave New World's box office numbers, the Thunderbolts box office numbers, and the Fantastic Four's box office numbers. And they know their next film is pretty much a guaranteed win. However, they share that with Sony. But they'll have hype coming from Spider-Man Brand New Day going into Avengers Doomsday, and then that movie after, they need to elevate it even more. They
so having
another Avengers film
they know what they're doing,
that would definitely do the trick. And honestly, I think
what I'm really excited about this whole thing, bro, because I really feel like Marvel is really using this as a test run for the next saga. I feel like they did a lot of stuff during this saga to kind of test the waters, see how things are, see how the media change, see how they gotta change up their marketing strategies, and et cetera, whatever they got to do to make things shake, And I feel like they've been using this to prepare for the next saga, which is why they once they kind of let it be known, the next saga is the mutant saga, they've been talking about we already working on it, because it seemed like they already excited, bro, we know what to do, we know how to market it now, we know what people want to see in the trailers, and so I feel like that's what this phase, this saga is meant for, is to prepare us for the mutant saga, because I truly believe I'm excited for these next movies. I'm not gonna lie, but I do think the mutant saga might end up being the best line of work we ever seen from these people, bro. I'm just being completely honest.